Hey everybody, I'm back again and I am going to talk today about books that are on my TBR for this year that won prizes either last year in 2019 or in some other year. I'm really excited about these books. I think it's going to be kind of fun. I, of course, like reading good books, so I figure if they won a prize, that's a good start. I would also like to start off by saying that for the past 2 years, on my Goodreads challenge, I have done, set it at 52 books. And I started out this year just saying, I'm going to do that again. That's a book a week. That's respectable. That's what I'm going to do. And I really, for the past couple of weeks, have been thinking like, oh yeah, 52 books is nothing. I can do that. That's not hard for me. And so in the back of my mind, I thought, well, I can have a stretch goal, and I think I want to try to do 100 this year. And that also counts audiobooks. But the more I thought about it, the more I felt like if I don't put it down, then it's not real. It's just something in my mind. And I want to actually put it out there that this is my goal and it's going to be difficult. So my new goal is 100 books in the year. That is almost 2 books a week. It's not quite 2 books a week. I've read, I think, 5 so far this year, so I'm off to a good start, and hopefully I don't get tripped up by any books. I had one last year that I just could not finish. Maybe one day I will go back to it and try again, but I got about a third of the way through it and I just gave up. I had struggled for a month and I was done. Yeah, so 100 books, fingers crossed, working towards that, and we'll see how that goes. So, back to the subject at hand is award-winning books that are in my TBR for this year. I will start with this one. This is An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. This won the 2019 Women's Prize for Fiction. So I actually don't really know much about what this is about. We'll see how this one turns out. Maybe after I'm done with it, I'll give everyone my thoughts on that. The next one, I saw this cover and I just couldn't resist. Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. This was a Time Best Book of the Year, so, you know, it's not exactly a Pulitzer, but I'll listen to Time and what they read. So I'm excited. This is about children, like a babysitter who goes to look after children who spontaneously combust. So it sounds like literary fiction meets kind of absurdist fiction. So we'll see how this one shakes out as well. It looks short, so at the very least it should go by like that. Then I have American Street by E.B. Zoboi. This is, as you can see by the little decal, this is the National Book Award finalist. I thought this cover was beautiful when I saw it, and this is about a young Haitian girl, I believe this is in Detroit. So I'm very excited to read this one as well. This is American Street. Then I have also Pachinko. This is a book I've seen floating around in a lot of lists. I picked this up on a whim, and this was a National Book Award finalist. I believe in 2017 is when this was published. I don't read many books. This book takes place in Japan, and I don't read a lot of books that take place in Asia, so this year I'm going to try to span the globe a little bit more than I usually do. And speaking of which, the next book I have is Severance by Ling Ma. This was named Best Book of the Year by many outlets. It's right here on the back by NPR, The New Yorker, The Paris Review, and on and on and on. And it was a New York Times Notable Book of the Year. So this one sounds interesting. In the blurb on the back, it says, "It is it the end of the world or just another day at the office?" And I have to say, I feel that way every day. So Severance from Ling Ma. I think this is actually going to be the next book that I read. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Next one is a science fiction novel called The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Lee. This was a winner of the Hugo Award. I was introduced to the mind of Cixin Lee last year in 2019. There was a movie out that you may or may not have caught called The Wandering Earth, which was this really amazing sci-fi movie where the sun is going to expand, and so they have to move the earth. And it's fascinating. I went to a screening and the director was there and they did a whole Q&A and it was so cool. But that movie was based on a short story written by Cixin Lee, and everybody that I spoke to said this is where you start with Cixin Lee. It's the beginning of a trilogy apparently, and I feel like I read somewhere that this is being developed into a TV show, but I think it might be a TV show in China rather than the US, so I don't know if we'll ever get to see it. But anyway, I am very excited to read this and see what comes of that. Another book that was written by someone who is not based out of the US is Flights. This is a Polish author, Olga Tokarczuk, maybe? I hope I'm not butchering her name too badly. She was a National Book Award finalist and winner of the Man Booker International Prize, which is, pretty impressive. And this one I was kind of caught by, in the synopsis it said that someone was flying to Poland to poison someone, and I am so on board for that. No pun intended. I'm on board and I'm flying to Poland. Anyway, I think this is going to be a really interesting kind of thriller, literary fiction thing, and so yeah, I'm very excited to read this one. This should be a good one. And then I've also got The Overstory by Richard Powers. A friend of mine is reading this and said that it was fantastic. It also won the Pulitzer Prize last year, so that's exciting, and what a beautiful cover. I kind of wish I would have bought this in hardback, but oh well, I'll be all right. I take very good care of my books, so even a paperback can be safe with me. So there's that one. Last but most certainly not least is another one that I picked up on an impulse, as I am wont to do many times. This is a nonfiction book called Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. Ironically, I picked this up and then randomly someone that I barely knew recommended this book out of the blue to me when we were talking about various books we've read, and he's like, oh, this great book, blah, 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 and it was this one that I had already bought. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of a little serendipitous that I bought a book that is apparently very good. At least this one person thinks it's good. This one won the Pulitzer Prize. It was not last year. This is not a recent book. This is the 20th anniversary edition, so I'm a little late to the party on this one, but I don't care. I'm really interested in reading this. This is about kind of various human societies of the world and their histories and their rise and fall and how they were brought down, whether it was guns, germs, or steel. I'm excited about this one also. So that is my prize-winning TBR pile, list, whatever you want to call it. I hope that you will maybe check one of them out or a couple, and I'll give you some reviews of some of these when I'm finished. Yes, very excited to read these.